Having issues with your Fire Stick and it's running really slow, don't know what to do? Well, stay tuned. Hi everyone and welcome to DFM TV. I am Dan the Firestick Man, your source for entertainment. And on this video, I am going to show you how to troubleshoot a slow working Fire Stick. Sometimes connection issues with the Fire Stick where it stops connecting and it shows you no connection and then it comes back on its own and vice versa. This will also help you if your Fire Stick is just not working to its full potential. Okay, like it used to work when you first got it out of the box. So I want to go ahead and get started right on that. So the first thing I like you to do is I want you to hit the home button to make sure that we're both on the same page, which is the Amazon home screen. And there's a particular app that we're going to search for called background apps. Okay, and there are two ways to search for it. The first way I'm going to teach you is to go ahead and hit that microphone button on the top of the remote, the Alexa button. I want you to press and hold it, say background apps and release it like I'm about to do. Background apps.
Here's what I found.
And this is what it's going to take you to. It's going to take you to this application here. It says background apps and process list. You're going to go ahead and click on it. And you're going to go ahead and click download. And it's going to be in the queue. Now, while that downloads real quick, I'm going to go hit the home button. If that didn't work for you by using the microphone on the top, the different way you can do it is hit the home button. Go to the left to that magnifying glass you see there. You see that? Okay, that's where we want to go. Hit left. And now all I want you to type here is back, B-A-C, that's all. And then down here you'll see in the options that'll say background apps and processes. You click on that, it'll take you to the same application, okay? Once it's installed, before you go into it, here's what we're going to do, okay? We're gonna hit the home button, okay? I just wanted to get that application installed on your Fire Stick. We're gonna hit the home button, we're gonna go to the right to settings. We're going to go down, we're going to go to the right to applications and click on applications, and we're going to go to the very bottom, manage install applications. And here, the goal to getting this Fire Stick working to its full potential again is to close the apps that are running in the background and then to clear all the cache that's still being stored on your Fire Stick. To simplify this, your Fire Stick is no different than your cell phone, whether you're an Android user or an iPhone user. Whenever you click on an application, that application constantly keeps running in the background until you close all apps or go through that feature on your phone where you're swiping the apps to be closed in the background. Otherwise, they're still running. That still doesn't clear the cache on your cell phone, but at least the running applications are done. And then you have to do some other steps on your settings to clear the cache on your cell phone to improve your cell phone, which is something that I encourage you to find a video on and do for your phone because it will improve how your phone works. But going back to the Fire Stick is no different. You will go to an application here like Alexa Shopping, and you will click on it, and it'll give you the option of force stop, clear data, and clear cache. So what I do is I click on force stop, and then I go down and I clear the cache. I stay away from clear data. You don't have to clear the data in order to clear your Fire Stick and to have it work better. That's not going to make a difference on that. What clear data is going to do, let's say I give you an example. If you have Netflix and this happens to be the Netflix application, when you clear the data, it's going to clear your credentials, meaning your username and password. So the next time you go in, you're going to have to re-register your username and password in order to get to Netflix again, like you did the first time that you register. So that's what clear data does. Don't click on it, okay? Force stop and clear cache are the only two, so you're going to click on. You're not going to see anything happen on the screen. Most of the stuff is going to happen in the background except for clear cache. And I mean that by if I'm over clear cache, notice on the bottom here underneath me it says cache. It says 0 right now. But I'm going to go ahead and take you to an application that actually has some cache. Let me go down the list here. Most of the stuff I already cleared, but here's one, App Store. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click on force stop. I clicked on it. Nothing happened, but it did close the app in the background if it was open. And down here, clear cache. And I want you to look at clear cache that I'm about to click on and this clear cache right here where it says 5.23 megabytes. I'm about to click on it and notice I went down to 0. Also, if you look at the data was a little bit more just a second ago, but when I cleared the cache, that went down. And that's the key to keeping your Fire Stick running smooth. Sometimes an application can glitch out other applications for working the way they should. Sometimes it's an update that Amazon sends out automatically that glitches out these applications, and by doing these steps here, it's going to go ahead and help and improve your Fire Stick. Now, for a moment, let's go ahead and hit the home button. And we're going to go back to the background apps that we just installed. Let's go ahead and click on it to go into it. And here it's going to load for the first time. If there's an update available, it'll tell you that it needs an update like this, or it gives you information. Just say got it. All right. So what this application is meant to do is meant to show you the applications that are currently running in the background right now. Like right now, in my Fire Stick, I have YouTube running. In your Fire Stick, you probably have never done this before. Most of you may have over 10 applications running, or even more than that. That causes your Fire Stick to slow down. So rather than having to go through every single application where we just were, manage install applications, rather than having to go down the list and clicking on force stop clear cache for every one, this would just show you the ones that are currently open. Why? Because you have no way of knowing which apps are currently running in the background unless you're running this application. For instance, what I used to do before that application was available was settings, applications, go down to manage install applications, go this one, force stop, clear cache, back button. Force stop, clear cache, back button. Next one. Force stop, clear cache, back button. The next one. And so on and so on and so on. And I will go down the list. And some of you have a lot of applications on your Fire Stick, so it can be a little time consuming to do that. I will say that this is the best way to do it because you're clearing the cache, you're force stopping everything just to make sure there's nothing out there that's still glitching on your Fire Stick that may not show as running. But if you don't want to go through that, using the background apps and process list application right here that shows you which applications are open, they're all going to show up here. Right now I just got one, okay, but they're all going to show up here. This is going to simplify that task of force stopping and clear cache open applications. So what I like to do when I'm here is I like to click on close all apps, even though there's just one right now, but you may have many, and it'll take you to the first open application, and that's the same steps that you're going to take. You're going to go to force stop and clear cache, and then you're going to hit the back button. And this is the goal. The goal is to get all your applications to disappear from this app and to look just like it is now. Now, in some cases, there's some applications where you may do this on, and you clear out most of them, but then one or maybe two applications stay there no matter how many times you go in there and you force stop and clear cache. If you went into the application and you force stopped it and you clear the cache and you hit the back button and it still appears there, don't worry about it. The app is closed, the cache is cleared. This particular application, background apps, hasn't registered that application as being closed as of yet. So, but you did what needed to be done. There's nothing else. So even if it shows up there, don't stress about it. Don't say, oh, I can't get this app to close. It really did close in the background. Just the app hasn't registered for those of you that have that issue. Once it's cleared out like this, or if you have one or two that you know you did already, you can hit the home button. And then here's the last thing that I want you to check for. And this is the most common problem to your Fire Stick coming out of the home screen saying there's no connection, coming back in, or the Fire Stick just running slow together, even your movies from Netflix and everything else you're on. So this is a very common problem, and this is the fix for it. So I want you to hit the home button and go to the right to settings. Go down and go to networks, okay? I want you to click on networks. And here's the part that I get a lot of calls on, and it's usually the problem. If your Fire Stick is connected, and it doesn't matter which Fire Stick you have, whether it's the second generation, 4K, Cube, a Fire TV, it doesn't matter. If it's connected to the 2.4 gigahertz, your Fire Stick is never going to work to its full potential. That's just the way it is. It does accept 2.4 gigahertz. It doesn't matter if you're right next to the modem. It's just not going to work right. This is years of experience dealing with Fire Sticks, guys. I'm telling you that the best connection for a Fire Stick is the 5G. So that's the one that you want it hooked up on. A lot of you with these cable companies, in that you have a router through the cable company and it's not your own, you're going to most likely have a smart router, meaning that it's going to switch over from 2.4 to 5G on its own because it's all in one channel. Some of you may have what's considered to be a dumb router, which you have two channels. You have a channel for a 2.4 gigahertz and a channel for 5G. That's the ones I prefer. When you buy your own router, you can make it, you know, the newer routers these days, you can make it a smart, you have a smart setting on it will do that back and forth on its own, or you have the setting where you can split both channels 2.4 and 5G separately. If you have a separate channels 2.4 and 5G, make sure you're connected to the 5G. Now I name my channels, like Avengers is the only one that I didn't put 5G or 2.4 because this is my smart connection. Here, this is just my 5G. If I search more, you'll start noticing that I have, like for instance, I have up here Matrix 5G, that's my 5G connection, and then I have down here Matrix 2G, knowing that it's my 2.4 connection, because I named it that. A lot of you haven't named your router names, and you're just using whatever the cable company gave you, and it may not say 5G or 2.4. So how do you know what you're connected to? Well, the first one on the very top is going to say connected. That's the one that you're currently connected to. Let's just say it's a bunch of gibberish, or it just says AT&T, or it says Spectrum, and it doesn't say anything else. In order to find out what is connected to, once you have it highlighted like you do now, I want you to hit the play pause button. You hit that, and it's going to take you to this screen here, and on top of it says connection status to whatever your name is, and on the bottom where it says 5 gigahertz, that's what I'm connected to right now. Give you an example. If I were to connect to my Matrix 2G, let me go ahead and put in my password real quick. If I connect to my Matrix 2G, and let's say it didn't say 2G on here, when I hit the play pause button, notice that now it says 2.4 gigahertz. If your Fire Stick says 2.4 gigahertz, that is going to be a major problem. Again, you can still get stuff done, you can still watch Netflix, you can still watch Prime, but your Fire Stick is not running in its full potential. The chances, if there's the slightest interruption with that connection, things are going to freeze up on you. The Fire Stick's not going to move. Even maneuvering through the home screen may glitch out where you see a lag every time you hit, you know, going right or going left. So again, my main recommendation is to plug this into the 5 gigahertz frequency, and that's going to give you the best performance. Now, here's another thing. For those of you that have a smart connection, this is the most common thing that happens. When you first connect to it, last time you saw it, it said 5G. But then somewhere along the lines of you watching something, there was a slight interruption with the 5G, and then the smart router did what it was supposed to do, was to switch you back to a steady connection, which will be the 2.4. The problem is with these smart routers is that a lot of them get stuck at the 2.4. So even after the 5G connection stabilizes it, it doesn't go back to it. It doesn't go back to the 5G. It stays on the 2.4. So even though you thought you were connected to the 5G originally, if it did that change on its own, because you don't have separate channels for your networks, then it's going to get stuck on there. And the only way to fix that, most of the time, is to restart your Fire Stick. And let me show you how to restart your Fire Stick. Now, I'm connected to the 5G. I'm connected to the 2.4. I'm going to connect back to my 5G just so everything runs smooth for me. And there it is. It's connected to my 5G. But to restart your Fire Stick, if you're here on the screen, hit the back button 2 times, and it'll take you back here. If you're in the home screen, go to the right to settings, and at that point, you're going to go to the right to My Fire TV. You click on My Fire TV, and you go down to restart. Click on restart. The Fire Stick is going to shut off. It's going to start on its own, and it's going to go ahead and connect to the network at that point. And then what you want to do is, once it's fully connected and your home screen shows up like this, that you see all the apps, then you're going to go to the right to settings, go back down, go to the right to networks. You should be highlighted over your network, hit the play pause button, and then it should say 5 gigahertz right there at the bottom where I'm pointing that arrow. Okay? Let's say that you did those steps and it's still connecting to the 2.4. You check through your channels, okay? Because you got to make sure, if you don't know if you have a smart connection, click on See All Networks and check through your channels and look for the same name. So in my case, it says The Matrix. Pretend it doesn't say 5G for a second. So I will look for another one that says The Matrix. And if it doesn't say anything also, then you know that the second Matrix has to be the 5G. But for those of you that only have one channel, no matter where you go, everything else you see is your neighbor's stuff. If you have one channel and it keeps coming back to the 2.4 even after restarting, then the key is to restart your modem and restart your router. And then the last thing is to come back to your Fire Stick and restart your Fire Stick. Now I'm gonna tell you real quick what you need to do on restarting your modem and router. For AT&T customers, you probably have a modem router combo, which is 2 units in one. It's a modem and a router. All you have to do is unplug it for a few seconds, 3 to 5 seconds, plug it back in. But you must wait for all the lights to come back on, especially the one that says online, and it has to be a solid color. Can't be blinking. It has to be a solid color because that's usually how they are. Unless you have a specific cable company that does things different, but most of the time it's a solid color. Once it might take 3 to 4 minutes to do. Once it's solid, then you come back to your Fire Stick and you restart your Fire Stick. For those of you that have your own router or have a modem and a router separately with your cable company where they give you 2 units, this is how you do the restarting of that or resetting of that. You need to unplug both the modem and the router. You need to make sure to find out which one is your modem and which one is your router. Okay, so figure it out which one is which. Unplug both of them, but only plug in your modem. Once you plug in your modem, you're gonna wait for that modem to get a full internet connection. So you're gonna wait for that online light to be a solid color. Once a few minutes goes by and that online light is solid, then and only then will you plug in your router, whether it's your own personal router that you bought or whether it's the router that the cable company gave you. You have to follow this sequence, guys. This is coming from the technicians from these companies. I deal with all of them, okay? And this is the best way to restart that because you want the modem to have a full internet connection before it connects to your router. And then your router, once you plug in your router, you're gonna wait for that online light also to be a solid light, knowing that it picked up the connection and it's solid and it's transmitting it throughout your house. And then you go back to your Fire Stick, and the last step that you do is to go to settings. I'm going to just do it one more time here with you guys. Let's go to settings. Go down, go to the right to My Fire TV. Click on My Fire TV, go down to restart, and then click on restart again. And that is going to restart your Fire Stick, and it's going to go ahead and pick up that new connection. Once it does, and it shows up the home screen where all the apps like this, go to settings, go to networks, and then hit play pause when you're over your network, and it should read 5 gigahertz. That's how to restart everything and to get your Fire Stick working to its full performance. If everything is successful here, great. If you still have issues that you're not connected to 2.4, again, check to make sure that you don't have split channels where that's just a 2.4 channel that keeps reconnecting to because it's the only thing you set it to. So check on that. If you know for a fact that you have a smart router that it should be going back and forth, the next step is to call your cable company and ask them about it. I go, look, is this a smart router? It's stuck on a 2.4. My Fire Stick takes the 5G frequency. What can I do to help? Sometimes it's a matter of them resetting on their end. Last thing I'm going to tell you about your router, guys, because I want you to know everything is as much as possible. Your router the channel of a router can mess up and the router still continue to work. Meaning your 5G connection on your router can get screwed up where it doesn't transmit what it's supposed to, and your 2.4 may still work, and that may be the reason why you're stuck on the 2.4, and also vice versa. Some of you may have units like a Ring that takes a 2.4 gigahertz, Ring doorbell, that only takes a 2.4 for the older version. I don't know about the new ones, but if you can't connect to a 2.4 and you're supposed to have that and it's not connecting, it might be that your 2.4 frequency got messed up on your router and only your 5G works, and the only fix for that is for your cable company to replace your router. Also, if you have your own router, you need to do your updates on your router. That is crucial. If you have your own routers, keep up to date, go to the settings and see if there's any software updates that need to be done. Run those, and that's also going to improve the performance of the connection from the router to every device in your home. There it is, guys. I know it's a lot of information, but I wanted you to get everything all in one video. I want to thank you so much for watching DFM TV. There was one thing that I would love to ask in return for me making this video and to help me continue to make these videos. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and ring that bell notification so you get notified every single time that I post a helpful video. I am Dan the Firestick Man. I'm your source for entertainment. Until the next video, guys, happy streaming.